Hey guys, what is up? It is the Fast Break Report here, bringing you guys another vlog, and I want to talk about the Houston Rockets today because they finally got rid of the cancer. They finally got rid of Kevin Porter Jr., who I thought was the whole reason that this franchise was not going to succeed, because while being a very good basketball player, the man was a very, very immature person. He was person of high physical ability, low character. Okay, like that's what my impression of Kevin Porter Jr. is, and apparently that holds to be true based on the situation that went on with his girlfriend. Now, to be fair, okay, the reason I never had faith in the Houston Rockets was partially because of Kevin Porter Jr. I felt like he was a really bad influence on Jalen Green. And when I heard that John Wall, I think it was on Gilbert Arenas' podcast, said that, Kevin Porter Jr. and Jalen Green were doing things that other guys would have gotten kicked off of teams for, I was like, yeah, you know what? Kevin Porter Jr. is clearly not a good influence on Jalen Green, which is why I had basically folded on them. I was like, okay, like this isn't gonna go fucking anywhere, right? Well, add in the fact that Jabari Smith Jr. didn't play well last year, and, I think everybody looked at that and was like, okay, they're not drafting well. They got guys on their team fucking up the chemistry. You got guys on their team who are, really just fucking their team up from the inside out. Like, Kevin Porter Jr. was a legitimate cancer to that team. I think he's a cancer to any team he's gonna fucking be on. If he actually plays basketball again in his career professionally in the NBA, I would be very surprised. He would really have to show a team that he can still play basketball and is a mature adult, but I don't think that's going to happen. But it's just the idea. Kevin Porter Jr. was the sole reason I didn't want Victor Wembanyama to go to Houston, because Kevin Porter Jr. clearly was a bad influence on Jalen Green. And Jalen Green's second year in the NBA was nowhere near as good as his first year. But the front office did make some moves, change some shit around, and honestly, okay, it's nice to see that the Houston Rockets are taking a stance for once. They have a head coach now in Ime Udoka, who isn't gonna let, his players fucking, step on him. He's got control over his locker room, whereas Steven Silas clearly fucking didn't, okay? That's the first thing. The second thing is the idea that Houston was willing to get rid of Kevin Porter Jr. makes me realize that they are not going to tolerate the bullshit, okay? It is nice to see that the front office is serious about winning, because they just gave Kevin Porter Jr. a 4-year, $82 million contract, and they said, no, get the fuck out of here. They traded him to the Oklahoma City Thunder, and the Oklahoma City Thunder paid $16 million to him just to go the fuck away. They were like, yo, go home. Okay, here's $16 million. Bye. Sayonara, try tomorrow, nice to know you. Okay, so they didn't even let him play a single fucking game for them, which is understandable because he's probably not going to play a single game at all ever again in the NBA. But it's just the idea. After watching their game last night against the San Antonio Spurs, I now have some renewed faith in the Houston Rockets. Now, Jabari Smith Jr. had a horrible season last year. The Houston Rockets bring in Ime Udoka as a head coach, and last night he had 20 points, shot fairly well from the field. Granted, he shot 2 of 6 from 3, but he had 5 rebounds, 20 points, 7 of 14 from the floor, 4 of 4 from the free throw line, and only had 1 turnover, okay? Jabari Smith Jr. balled the fuck out. The thing is also, they managed to pick up Cam Whitmore at fucking 20. I think they drafted him at 20th in the this past NBA draft, and Cam Whitmore looks like the steal of the draft already. I'm gonna call, my man had 6 steals yesterday against the San Antonio Spurs and 1 block. He scored 17 points, had 6 rebounds, and to his granted, shot atrociously from the field. I mean, 4 of 15 bad, okay? He shot 8 of 11 from the free throw line and 1 of 7 from 3. Boys, I'm going to tell you this. If Cam Whitmore gets his offense figured out, which I If I were a betting man, I would say he's going to, okay? Because if he plays defense like that, my man's is gonna get minutes, okay? Last night, he did not let Keldon Johnson get open even off ball, let alone on the fucking ball, okay? Cam Whitmore was playing lockdown defense. He played what I like to call long dick defense last night, okay? My man was fucking in there. He was not letting Keldon Johnson get open. When Cam Whitmore came in the fucking game, it was lockdown time, okay? And he scored 17 points, had 6 steals and a block. Okay? Like, I don't want to say he's the next Jason Tatum because that's a stretch, okay? But it's just the idea. I don't think Cam Whitmore was known for defense when we were in the NBA draft. Like, going up to it, Cam Whitmore was known as an offensive player. But now that Ime Udoka is the head coach of the Houston Rockets, Cam Whitmore has clearly bought into whatever Ime Udoka is teaching, and it is paying fucking dividends like a motherfucker, okay? Like, Cam Whitmore looks like a damn good perimeter defender. I mean, like, watch a Houston Rockets game. If you get a chance, watch a Houston Rockets preseason game before the season starts. Okay, if they even play another preseason game, Cam Whitmore was locking motherfuckers down. Okay, then when you add in the fact that they have Tari Eason, who Tari Eason looked very good last year. He looks like he was a good draft pick. Jabari Smith Jr. finally looks like a number 2 overall pick. He scored 20 points last night, 7 of 14 from the field. He's a guy that's finally looking like he's coming into his own. And this year, I look for Jalen Green to improve. Jalen Green is a guy that I was a little worried about. Now, I'm just going to say this. Okay, I'm going to throw this out there just for food for thought. I would not be surprised if in 2 or 3 years from now, we're talking about the Houston Rockets being Jabari Smith Jr. and Cam Whitmore's team. Okay, because they both look like they're going to be very good. And Jalen Green is a good player. He's just very inconsistent. And I don't think he's a bad player. I think he's still got a lot of room to grow, but I really feel like Cam Whitmore and Jabari Smith Jr. are going to surpass him in the next 2 or 3 years. Even Tari Eason potentially. Tari Eason's a very good player and doesn't get the type of credit he really deserves as a defender and just like a guy who can go out there and get it done. Tari Eason's a guy that I wish the Pacers would trade for. Like, I'm just going to call it what it is. Like, Tari Eason's a guy that, like Pacers fans, if there was any guy from the Rockets that, like, I would want on the Pacers roster, it's Tari Eason, okay? But it's just the idea, like, this team finally has given me some renewed faith. You know, we got rid of the cancer and Kevin Porter Jr., okay? Now we can focus on ball. And Ime Udoka, okay, is going to be adamant that you focus on ball. And that's why I love the Ime Udoka hiring. Like, Houston is finally making good moves. Whereas before, I was like, yeah, you know what? I have no faith in what the fuck is going on over here. And the Cam Whitmore pick, the Amen Thompson pick, both look very good. Tari Eason looked like was a good pick. Jabari Smith Jr. finally looks like a good pick. Like, the Houston Rockets finally have something, and you know what? That's nice because if you've been a long-time fan of the channel and you've been watching me since last year, you know I had zero faith in this fucking team. Okay, like they were a favorite to sign James Harden, and they said no to James Harden, even though James Harden wanted to be there. They're like, nah, you know what? We're good. Rumors came out that James Harden actually met with the Rockets and basically went over his demands and were like, no. Like, sorry. Okay, like, we love the idea that you want to be here, but we got young guys we need to worry about, okay? So, and Houston just getting rid of, like, the idea that Houston was willing to get rid of Kevin Porter Jr., like, I know that it doesn't sound like a big ask, right, because of what he did, but you have to understand they just paid that guy $82 million and or gave him a contract for $82 million. So for them to say, like, not even give him a chance shows that Houston's done fucking around. Okay, like Houston, that, like, to me, that's what it says. I know it doesn't say a whole lot to maybe you guys. It's like, well, yeah, duh, like, he's not going to be able to play all season. And I get that, but at the same time, like, I thought if there was any team that would have said, fuck it, we'll deal with it, because Cam Whitmore apparently didn't interview well during the draft process. And with all the things that Kevin Porter Jr. had already done in his past, I was like, maybe Houston doesn't care about these dudes' pasts or their future or anything. Maybe they just care about guys who can ball, which kind of makes sense in a way. You know, like you're a basketball team and your objective is to win games. If the guy's good at basketball, you know, what the fuck does it matter? But it's nice to see that Houston finally like cares about the image of their franchise a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, because they don't want a Ja Morant situation, right? And I think that's what Houston's really worrying about here is like they saw the whole situation with Ja Morant and they're like, you know, like our star player can't be Ja Morant. You know what I'm saying? Like our star player can't have the reputation that Ja Morant now has. And it's nice to see that the front office kind of like woke up to this, and I'm actually excited to watch Rockets games this year. I can't say that, but like Cam Whitmore, I can't believe I'm saying this, but if Cam Whitmore can figure out his offense this season, right? If Cam Whitmore can figure out his offense this season, our Rookie of the Year race is going to be Victor Wembanyama, Chet Holmgren, and Cam Whitmore, okay? Because Cam Whitmore already looks like, I would say, an all-star on defense. Like, I'm going to go there. I can't believe I'm going there, but I'm going to go there. He looks like a fucking all-star on defense. Like, I'm telling you, watch a Rockets preseason game. Cam Whitmore, like their defensive lineup is going to have Tari Eason and Cam Whitmore in it. I promise you it is. Like when they need to play defense at the end of the game, like in those last seconds, Cam Whitmore and Tari Eason are going to be in the fucking game. I promise you. So all I'm saying is, I finally have renewed faith in the Houston Rockets young core, and in 2 to 3 years from now, I really would not be shocked if we're looking at the Houston Rockets and it's the Jabari Smith Jr. and Cam Whitmore show. And you know what? I'm here for it. I love it. You know what? Thank God Kevin Porter Jr. is gone. You know what? We're not doing the whole fucking, you know, gangsters and thugs and shit. We're not doing that, and I'm glad, because honestly, I know there's rumors out there that like the Houston Rockets owner is like a part of the mob or some shit like that. So like I kind of understood why maybe they wouldn't give a fuck, but no, you know what? They clearly care now. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the thing for me. It's like, wow, the front office cares what their team looks like. They care about the image of their players. Like they care about winning now. They care about the growth of Jalen Green. Like they care. And I'm like, wow. You know, like, cause I thought they fucking didn't. And now I'm like, wow, they actually give a shit. So you know what, man? At the end of the day, it's gonna be what it's gonna be, but I'm excited. I'm excited to watch the Houston Rockets again. So tell me what you guys think about this down below in the comment section below. Like, helps me out. Subscribe if you guys want to see more on the Fast Break Report. And out of this motherfucker. Peace, guys.